Now we've got audio, and the podcast continues. This is like a Grand Central Station here today. Lieutenant Mickey Locklear, who used to be sergeant type, is on the podcast right now. This is actually your time to be here every Friday.
Yes, sir.
I overbooked. Jeez.
We
That's okay.
We don't mind sharing time.
No, I don't, because normally when you come in, you bring in goods that for sale, and you always have good causes.
Yes, sir.
As well on why you're doing it. Why are you doing it?
This is, like you said, it's all for good cause, Special Olympics. So we've got a couple different things going on. One of the things we brought back the no shave.
Yes, I heard that.
So right now, within about a week, we started, I think, within about a week, we've raised a little over $13,000.
Now, tell us how that works.
So it's $25 a month. If the deputy doesn't want to shave, they pay the $25. Of course, they can't come in with, facial hair hanging halfway down. It can't be no longer than an inch. Still has to maintain a clean appearance. And the money raised from that goes to Special Olympics. So we couldn't leave the females out.
So what do you do for them?
Females are paid $10 a month, and they can paint their fingernails any color that they want to.
So these are employees of the sheriff's office?
Yes.
And how's that going over?
So far, so good. I think we've maybe 6 or 7 females that have participated.
Yeah, around that.
We've got quite a few civilians that have paid to wear jeans. It's $20 a month for them to wear jeans for the civilian personnel.
Who's this you brought in here, this stranger?
This is Sergeant Hurley, Senior Sergeant Hurley.
Sergeant Hurley, how are you today? Bring that mic close
good.
to your mouth, because Kenny's going to hit me if you don't. There you go. I'm talking to it there.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, she sounds good, too. Okay. Yeah. Well, what? Oh, look, I got all kind of graphics coming up underneath you. You're not Doug Hewitt. Tell us your role in all this stuff and support. What's your position?
I'm in the Public Information Office.
Right,
with
so
Lieutenant Locklear.
we had a lieutenant that became a major. You were a sergeant, and then you became a lieutenant, and so they had to bring somebody else in.
Well, she was lieutenant at the time. Lieutenant Burgundy was promoted to captain. So
she was a captain.
I moved up.
Okay. Well, look, it's good to have all of you here, and you
Yes,
come with this information about how people can be supportive of the sheriff's office, but in doing that, also have a chance to help the Special Olympics.
Yes, sir.
And you guys are kind of competitive in it this year. Talk about that in terms of raising money for the organization.
So last year we made the back of the T-shirt. In order to get your badge, you have to be top 10 fundraiser, and that's statewide. So it's every law enforcement agency statewide. So last year I think we placed number 22. So this year our goal is to make top 10.
So, but you were on the back of the shirt.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the previous year 24, we didn't make the back of the shirt. And, we've just kind of ramped up a lot of things. Sheriff allowed us, like I said, to do a couple things, the facial hair, raise money with that, the jeans, the nails and stuff like that.
But look, I told you guys one thing that you were doing wrong, and hopefully you corrected that, was you were trying to be good-hearted and allowing some of the purchases that were made to go to just the Special Olympics, as opposed to taking credit for those sales actually coming to the sheriff's office. Were you able to make an adjustment along those lines?
So that really just depends on the way the person donates. Like if they go online directly and donate to Special Olympics, it just goes in as a general donation, versus if they get up with us and say, hey, I kind of look at it like this, if they're willing to make a donation, hey, at least get a T-shirt. T-shirts are $25. So if they get up with us and say, hey, I want to make a donation of $100, okay, well, we can give you 4 shirts.
Right.
They're also selling hats this year for $25 and $30. They got 2 different types.
A little bit different.
I don't need a hat.
I think the Special Olympics one will look better. It's blue and it will go with your shirt.
The only reason I put my hat on, Kenny, is because he's hitting me up for $50 on the 2 shirts next week.
Yes, sir.
Extra large for me, and my wife gets a medium.
Yes, if she needs a medium or small, whatever size.
Get a medium, it'll be a sleeve shirt.
Double X here, so thank you, Gilbert.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, I don't mind giving, because it is a very good cause. I've already bought 10 tickets to the Crime Stoppers. Take that name down. Crime Stoppers. When is that going to take place?
April 24th. It'll be from 10 to 6 out in the Harris Teeter parking lot, Rayford Road.
Right, and see, and I've made that purchase even though I don't eat barbecue. And the only point I'm trying to make is, folks, these are good causes for
Yes,
our
sir.
community. And so you make a donation, you give back the best you can. You have a cohort like Kenny Hitman McLean in there with the pineapple up on the thing right there, Kenny.
Oh, I
The
didn't know I was
pineapple,
on
you're
screen.
on camera right now. I've donated 2 tickets to him.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, he wants 2 more that I've already given away, but that's okay.
Well, it's Southern Coles, man. Come
Is
on,
that-
that's some
If
good
he, if he
Bring
needs
barbecue.
2
more to
more, we can
sell.
bring
Oh,
him
hold
2
it.
more Friday
right.
and some shirts if he needs
Did-
them.
I'll
Ken-
buy my own. Thank you. I will.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
hold it. Wait a minute. Let's say. What'd you say, Kenny? I got you on camera.
Gilbert, I'll buy my own. Thank you.
Kenny will buy his own, is what he said.
Because it's a good cause, and plus, well, anyway, it's Southern Coles, man. I had it for the first time at their event last year,
Right.
and I promised myself if they're going to be there again, I'm definitely going to come by.
Now,
And it's quick. It's you just go by, go in. They've got it all ready to hand out to you.
That's right. And you guys will deliver too. Talk about that a little
Yes.
bit.
So if they get 10 plates or more, they'll actually deliver them. So that, if you've got a business or something like a small business to eat 10 people, there were a couple of places I went to last year that only wanted 4 or 5 plates. And I was like, hey guys, I know you've only got 6 or 7 people, but if you buy 10 plates, they'll actually bring them out to you. You don't even have to go get them. And a lot of people jumped on it just because of that.
Well, and you get seconds, of course.
Yes.
Well, there you can see. Now that's a true sergeant right there. Thinking about how to do this. Get yourself a plate for now, and then you can have one for dinner. One for lunch, one for dinner. What's all in the plates? What do you got?
So they're doing, last year was the barbecue. They got a roll, I think it was baked beans and potato salad, or maybe baked beans and green beans.
Well, I'm pretty good with. I can do the baked beans and potato salad and stuff, and
Potato
the roll
salad's
like
really
that.
good.
If I'm a diabetic, I got to watch the rolls and stuff like that.
sir.
But it's a good cause.
It is. It's at the end of the day, it's all benefiting the community, because Crime Stoppers really does help us in times when we need something. I can honestly say, and I think you mentioned previously about the news releases we put out, where we were able to make a drug arrest from a Crime Stoppers tip. Somebody just wanting a neighborhood cleaned up, or even in some of the crimes where detectives are having a hard time identifying somebody, we put it out and somebody will respond to Crime Stoppers and say, hey, this is such and such person. There are people that want the money. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's people that just say, hey, I just want my neighborhood cleaned up. I want them out of here.
Right, and we talked about the city council has added an additional $3,000 to the reward. So if a crime happens in the city limits of Fayetteville, the reward from Crime Stoppers can be $5,000.
Yes, sir.
And it's $2,000 up to $2,000. And you got to realize, it's just like you just said, some people just want the information to be out there to help law enforcement, to help clear up their neighborhood. And then there are some people who do want the money. And it's really anonymous the way Sergeant Caldwell explains it. You can give us the background on that as well, because you really don't want to know anybody's name if you don't want anybody's name.
Yeah, so when the information comes to us, it's just a tipster ID. That's all we get. They don't even ask the person the name. So if we go in and do a disposition and say an arrest was made off of this tip, well, Crime Stoppers reaches back out to that person and says, hey, this is your reward number. They take that reward to the bank, the reward number to the bank. They just tell the teller that they're picking up a reward for Crime Stoppers. They show them the number. They go get the money, come back, hand them the money, and that's it. They don't ask for ID or anything.
Well, this is your day. I keep pushing up names that are not here on the screen here. My thumbs are getting big here on this podcast. This is your day when you come in and not only talk about Crime Stoppers or what's going on in the community, but also other things that are happening within the sheriff's office. What things are coming up now that you really want the folks to be aware of?
So as far as safety, here recently we've gotten a lot of break-ins to people's vehicles, and I know it's called a break-in, but people are leaving their doors unlocked. So what's happening is these people are going through neighborhoods and door tapping. If the door's locked, they pull it, the door doesn't open, they go on about their business. If they didn't lock it and they pull it and it opens it, when they don't hit the lock button, it really doesn't set the alarm. So when they pull it and it opens, they just go through the vehicle and take whatever they want. And there's people leaving guns, money, purses, wallets, and everything. So you've got people losing Social Security cards, debit cards, cash money. And it's all because they left the car unlocked. When you've got stuff like that, you need to take it in the house.
Yeah, that's a good point, because when I was in college, I worked at WDAO in Dayton, Ohio, and I worked from midnight to 6 in the morning. It was an open parking lot, and I had cassettes, headphones, and some things in my vehicle. And when I got off the air at 6 in the morning, someone had broken into the car and stole all of my CDs and all some of the electronic equipment. And I wrote it up, and I told the station something has to be done about people breaking into these cars, stealing things out of the cars. And the management wrote back, yes, something has to be done. Don't leave your valuables in your car, is what they said. Yeah.
And
True
if-
story, Kenny. That's true. It doesn't sound like something that happened around here, Kenny.
And if
Kenny,
they,
No
hold on,
comment.
wait a minute.
No-
Kenny,
no-
you're on screen.
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's
Okay,
move
all right,
forward,
well,
please. Thank you. I want the right to remain silent.
Okay, and you do. You have that. But the point is, you make a good point, Lieutenant Locklear. The fact that people are leaving their doors unlocked and folks are taking advantage. We're getting ready to run out of time. I want you to tell me about this one story that was been kind of crazy. Well, what's going on where the person was throwing these Molotov cocktails into the business? Are you familiar with that one? I think you called it was
So,
two different people, is my
two
understanding.
separate incidents. The first incident, they are still looking for that guy. Then a second incident happened. They arrested one guy, and then they arrested a second person. And both of those arrests were in the second incident, not the first.
Yeah, and now
So-
somebody got burned. Did the one guy get caught on fire or something? Familiar with that?
I can't remember. Do you remember which one
I'm
it was?
not sure. I'd have to
One
find
of
out.
them, I know some of the fluid had ended up coming back on the person. I just don't remember if it was from the first one or the second one. But the second one, they did make 2 arrests. They got the first guy, and then the second person was the person that actually drove that person to the place.
I know this is an
So-
ongoing investigation here, but clearly it seems like the business is being targeted for one reason or another. It's a small business in a rural area. What type of business is this again? This is a some
I believe
type
it's
of
a convenience store, isn't
it's
it?
a convenience store.
Yes, feed store.
Right, right, right.
I've never been there, so I don't know if it's like where you go get grain and stuff for animals, feed and stuff,
Yeah.
dog food, stuff like that. I've never been in there.
Well, so you're looking for some folks in that as well. Any other things you want to share here with the community before it's time to go?
Going back to our fundraisers, we are going to be, coming up is going to be the torch run. So get your running shoes ready and come join us.
Yeah, and so the county is involved with it. How's that work in terms of where you pass the torch, or are you involved with the city police as well?
So it's kind of still in the talks of how that's going to work out. But I know it's most likely going to go from Hope Mills, where they're going to pick it up. We're going to pick it up from them, and we're actually going to run with the city this year. So it'll be the county and city running together until we pass it off to the next agency.
And where would you going north? Would it be Harney County, or where do you pass it off?
They're going to go up north.
Right.
So don't know if it'll go. They're still planning everything. We're not sure if they'll drop it to Spring Lake or who will pick it up after. But
Well, the main thing is it's again one of those nice community things that it's visual. You're competitive in this, and it's all for a good cause.
it is.
All right. Well, the two of you, anything else to say? Kenny, you want to chime in?
How many? What size shirt you need, Kenny?
And how many tickets?
Yeah, he's. You got. Look, he's showing us tickets. He's got a couple tickets.
Oh, and also Linda called. She said, by the way, Southern Coles was the best of in their publication.
Is that right? See, you hear that? Southern Cole's the best of in the publication. So you got a good meal that's going to be involved with the Crime Stoppers thing. And my big story with Sergeant Locklear at the time. He sold me some tickets when I was at WRAL, and I mean,
Didn't I meet you at Douglas?
you met me. That's right. And then my photographer at the time, Mike Joyner, and we had napkins in our shirt ready to go down and eat. It was a month later that the meal was. But look, Lieutenant Locklear is a good salesperson because he had me believing that I was going to buy the Brooklyn Bridge.
We had to give you time to work your appetite up for those 10 plates you bought.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate both of you coming in here. And your time again next week, we'll have more time. And thank you for sharing time with us with Karen, because she's got a great thing that's going on with her yard sale. You're listening to News Talk 640 with WFNC. We've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast with CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing. You got a picture, Gal? I'm a professional. I love it. All right, guys.
Yeah, I'll check with Kenny right quick and see what shirt he needs and how many
Okay.
tickets he wants.
There you go. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much. 35, that is the number this morning.